Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we'll be covering Digimon Adventure 2020, episode 23, The Messenger of Darkness, Devimon. I'm May, and of course I'm joined by the lovely, lovely Quinn.
Hi!
And the equally lovely Stevie.
Hello.
So full house this week, and so we'll just get into it. The episode starts up with what I feel like feels like the longest Next Time On we've had this entire season. It just felt at least twice as long, and I don't know why. I'm not complaining or anything, but it just felt kind of. I mean, I guess I am a little bit, but I feel like it just felt so long. Where it could have just been said that they fought, they had some evolution, and we forgot about the rest of the cast. Like, I feel like that could have just been said, but maybe I just didn't have any time for it this week. I was just like, I just want to get to the show. But, yeah. So maybe it's just me, but it just felt, like, twice as long. Anyway, Devimon is just floating, and they just didn't animate his face or mouth moving for any time that he talks, which, I don't know, it's weird where Garurumon and Garurumon do it, but I kind of got used to it because it just reminded me of Princess Mononoke. But it just felt weird when Devimon just was floating and talking, but he didn't have any mouth flaps when he was talking, and it just felt
It's so lazy.
weird. Like, yeah, it felt like, okay, is he just sort of psychically communicating with the children? I just don't understand how he's talking right now. He has a mouth and he's sort of vaguely human, so why can't we just see his mouth? It felt weird. Like, did original Devimon's mouth move when he talked? I think it did, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think even earlier this season.
I think even the sand version of Devimon spoke, like with his mouth, I think, right?
Sounds right.
I mean, and also, he was a silhouette for a lot of it, and I felt like the silhouette was just a little bit more threatening. Like,
It was way more interesting.
Yeah, like, this one just sort of has badly drawn hands that he just sort of flails around. They're just a purple silhouettes of badly drawn hands, and that was my main takeaway, that the hands don't look threatening. They look just, I'll link it in the link dump, and I've just sent it in the Discord chat at the moment, just so I can just reiterate how truly, like, weird and just not threatening at all these vague hands are. It's just, it doesn't even look like Devimon's hands.
That's
it just
pretty
doesn't
terrible.
look threatening.
Mm.
And yeah.
I
yes,
was watching this
I'm
at 2x
nitpicking.
speed, so I missed that, but that's pretty terrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so sometimes daylight savings just makes issues.
Yep. That said, this was a much more interesting episode if you only watch it in half the time.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, man, I wish I could have watched this
action-packed.
episode. I wish I could have watched this episode and last week's episode in 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of these episodes would have been just so great if they were just at 2 times speed, because it's just, oh wow, you can't even notice the animation's surprisingly not that good. And again, I'm nitpicking. Like, the animation isn't the only thing that matters when I'm watching an episode, and I've mentioned that last week before. Like, I'm not one to pick out animation when it's bad quality. Like, previous episodes, people have said, "Oh, the animation was terrible." I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was fine. I watched it. It was an episode." But this is just, it just gets kind of blech. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm nitpicking.
It's okay.
Anyway. So Yamato tells Takeru to stay hidden, and this feels weird because Devimon is floating above and can clearly see above the debris because he's, floating above, and Takeru surely was already hidden.
He also watched you go.
Yeah, he also watched you go. It wasn't like he was turning, his back was turned. Like, it's not like they said, "Hey, Devimon, what's that over there? Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so amazing." And then Devimon's like, "Oh, what?" And then he hid. No, Devimon was just probably, and I like to believe, looking at Poyomon the entire episode. I feel like that was what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it would feel weird if he wasn't watching Takeru staying hidden, which it's okay, isn't relevant anyway. But anyway, so again, I'm nitpicking. So Devimon's mouth just does not move when he talks. and I guess it saves on budget, and here I am still hoping for Lilymon to get an upgrade. I'm like, it's okay, Lilymon's upgrade is going to take all the budget, so it's fine. Sweethearts, you just put all the budget into Lilymon's evolution to even more of a magical girl. It's okay. Just do that. It's okay. Make her Bancho Lilymon. That's all I want. Just go have
God,
fun.
that'd be so good.
Sweethearts, take the budget and just put it all to Lilymon. But it's okay. I mean, honestly, and I guess getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I feel like the best animated scenes this episode was definitely in the animation for the other kids.
Oh, definitely.
And their battle, which feels kind of weird. Like, I mean, I love that. I love them. They are the characters that I care about. Like, I'm beginning to not care about Tuckaroo because his sort of involvement in a lot of episodes is just yelling at the bad guy to stop.
Yeah. And then doing nothing.
Anyway,
like,
yep.
we evolve, and then I'm like, okay, do something. Oh, no, go back to hiding. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. He just hides. That's what he does. He yells and hides, and that's just what he do. Anyway, Devimon attacks the perfect level Digimon with his Death Claw, and Taichi tells everyone to hide. And then Yamato tells Taichi to use the debris to cover, because I'm pretty sure they're already doing that anyway. Like, it looked like they were already doing that. It just felt like they needed the characters to say more than 2 lines to each other. So they're just like, oh, what should we do? Oh, just tell them to hide. So we're just telling everyone to hide in every line of this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I see the fact that Devimon's attacks were... And a lot of people are constantly comparing this to the original Adventure and saying, oh, original Adventure was better. And for a lot of the time, like, no, original Adventure was not better. Original Adventure was a kind of, a lot of the time boring. Like, this one has, the pacing's incredibly fast. Lots of things happen. There's no, like, downtime. There's no filler. We haven't had any sort of peaceful episode where it's just not full of plot. I can't really call any of the episodes filler except for the evolution episodes, which can't be filler because at least we get an evolution, but they have been the most filler.
Yeah.
And honestly, probably the best episodes, like, save for a few. But then I'm sitting here like, oh, I have to compare, because Devimon in the original Adventure, his attacks looked like he was actually doing something, and he actually looked more menacing. In this one, his attacks are terribly drawn hand, and purple light that cuts through rock in a very anime fashion in a perfect slice, but without, like, any dust or debris or any special effects. It just cuts them and the debris just sort of slides and vanishes.
It's so badly animated.
It is a flash animation. Like, it's a pop-up book, which I don't like. A lot of, like, people have described other episodes as being a pop-up book animation, and I couldn't see it, but this is just, every episode it gets more pop-up book. Like
this seriously looks like they just dragged it in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's like...
It's so terrible.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's flash animation. Like, it's just, they drag it off screen, and then surely it would add to the,
You can see where
background.
the layers are. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, it is not good, and that means that Devimon's attacks feel less real. Like, in the original, he was just, shoving his hand through Digimon, and he was just sort of sitting there being, like talking and having his mouth animated. It was great. And, that show is over 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So surely in those 20 years, they would have made him a little bit more menacing and actually have attacks that look terrifying. But these attacks just look so, like, I don't know, stuck into the background, or stuck in just sort of, the quick flashes of purple light, which I can only imagine at 2 times speed would have just been like, huh? Was that something there? What was that?
Pretty much.
Like, it's like they forgot to animate the attacks, and like, oh my god, the episode is coming out in like 2 minutes. Oh, what do we do? Oh, I don't know. Purple
I got
lines.
This. Or defending
I got
by
this.
just like raising your middle finger at the preps.
Yeah, just they. I mean, again, I'm nitpicking.
You forgot
Yep.
random blast of wind that doesn't move anything except Tokomon.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like,
It kind of was.
okay,
but...
this blast of wind. Surely it will move the debris that we've sliced up, and surely it will, look to be some sort of inconvenience. Nope, it just blows Tokomon away, and Tokomon does not care. Like, Tokomon's just like, I'm rolling, he's having a great time. Tokomon is smiling. Tokomon is the embodiment of the "this is fine" dog, and everything's on fire.
You're so correct there.
Like, Tokumon is just like me trying to enjoy 2020. Like, me just sitting there going, it's fine, 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 it's fine. Like, it's okay, nothing can hurt me if I just sit here in my room. Ha la 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 la. Like, well, it's me trying to ignore the cruel embrace of death. Like, Tokumon, surely you can just open your mouth and be, like, existing. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, lots of rants this episode. I know we've gone mainly 3 minutes into the episode, and it also feels like an eternity. Anyway, so we go back to the human world with the characters that I actually care about, and I love that. And we get an update on the tanker, and I'm in two minds about the fact that this feels like our war game again.
Yeah.
One, I don't like the fact we're constantly going, oh, our war game, but again. But I do like that we're actually getting our war game with the character, well, Koshiro excluded, because Koshiro was there in original our war game, sort of. We're actually getting the characters I care about in our war game. So it's their war game. I like that.
Yeah. That being said, they have just inexplicably not evolved for the last 2 episodes.
Oh, yes.
Like,
that is
you could have just done this anytime.
Yeah, the whole time I'm just wondering why they haven't evolved, because they're struggling, and I don't know why they evolved when they do, besides everyone else was doing it. I don't know why. It's like they remembered, oh, right, we can evolve.
Well,
like,
they
feels
realized
weird
that if they evolved, they could do something to help the characters who are actually important.
Yeah, but it's just, it's so weird. Like, nobody, like, at least give a reason why they haven't evolved yet.
Something.
Are they saying, oh, we shouldn't evolve yet just in case Kalmarimon becomes a different Digimon and we need to, like, conserve our energy for that big fight?
Something, yeah. It's
just
not
come
good.
up with a reason. Like, we've spent, like, the whole time, like, at least when we were like, okay, we've got 2 adult-level Digimon and 2 child-level Digimon, but those child-level Digimon can't evolve because their partners aren't here yet. Like, at least that was a reason, you know. Still, we've got 2 adults who are struggling, and then they continued to struggle when they were all 4 adults. It felt weird, and yeah, I'm very much nitpicking.
Well, and it's such a letdown when they finally do evolve, and it's just like, okay, we killed it, 1 shot, let's get going.
And it's the best part of the episode.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, the best part of the episode is Joe being like, it's okay, we got this.
Oh, okay, yeah. Him doing that constantly and failing is just like, oh Joe, oh my precious little boy, he tries so hard. Like, I love him so much. Like, I'm sad that, like, Mimi did sort of very little except for wish Togemon luck, which is very precious. It's fine, I'm not complaining. But Joe is just, like, the highlight of actually just... I can't tell how the writers feel about Joe, but I don't think it's very good until, like, you know, the end part. But anyway, so that's that. Then there's apparently this lighthouse-like object that's absorbing the data, and it's building and it's sending it to the digital world. And they're like, "Oh, it's like with the fake Tokyo." So I'm kind of like, okay, can we not do Nidhoggmon again though, please? Yeah. Back to the main characters. Yep. Sorry, you were saying?
Nothing. Just that I just don't care at all about these random boats.
I mean, I can feel like, oh, there's also, you know, it's going to drive into the harbour in Singapore, and that's like...
Yeah, I mean like, that's also bad, but it's such a vague bad, and I don't know, they're just like, hey, I keep trying to do the thing, but the computer the computer isn't letting me. Have you tried trying the computer again? Yes. Well, I'm out of ideas. Yeah.
They're not very good at their jobs.
Yeah, like...
And, like, I don't think this will happen because this seems like a good idea, but... Surely Singapore will take this as a threat from Japan because random tankers started, like, charging towards the harbour for no reason. Like, that feels a little bit sus. Like, I don't know. It just, they can just say, oh, there was a systems error, but I don't know why. Why do they have an override? It makes no sense. Like, surely this
some kind of manual override.
Like, surely we're not that, like, dependent on technology that even tankers, you can't, like, if they can be
surely
manually
you can shut
hacked.
Down the engine. Like, even if you can't turn, we could have put on the brakes, like, an hour ago if you just cut off the engine and then dropped the anchor.
Yeah. So, like, it's less of a threat the more you think about it, but also, again, Singapore should, like, be threatened by this because this seems like an act of war.
Yeah, on the other hand, like, Singapore, so...
Yeah, I mean, and also, like, maybe I missed this, but how dare they maybe not show the Merline when they're going to Singapore, I'm like looking for the Merlion. Like, where is it? Where is it?
The what now?
Where is my favorite giant thing?
I know very little about Singapore besides their government.
They've got like a giant like white statue of a merlion, so it's like a lion, but it's a mermaid.
All right, that's pretty
and
great.
it's like, and it like vomits water out of its mouth, and it's so cool. And like I went there when I was very little, and I thought it was huge, and then I went there when I was like slightly older, and I was just like, oh, it's tiny. I mean, it's not tiny; it's a statue. It's huge, but
it's not as big as you remember.
It's never as big as I remember, and like I don't. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it was there like at some point. Maybe I was just too distracted writing my notes and being mad at the fact that the characters weren't evolving to perfect yet to stop this attack on Singapore. But I miss the merlion. It's big and it vomits water, and I always want a plush toy of it, and I still don't have one. And like, can we get a Digimon that's the merlion, please? Like,
oh, that would be
I
so
love
good.
the merlion. It's such a good Digimon design, and it would just not. I don't even think we have a Pokemon Merlion, which is just like.
We should get a whole line of semi-obscure statues. We can get the Merlion, the mermaid from Copenhagen, who, as far as I remember, doesn't have a head at the moment. Maybe Hachiko?
Same. Oh, Hachiko, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think I would like to submit the idea of Korean buff Jesus.
Okay, yes. Super into that.
I think we do need that.
Who should be a form of Angemon?
Yeah. So Korean buff Jesus is exactly what it says on the tin, actually. It's this statue in Korea of Jesus, hence Korean Jesus. But for some reason, he's on the cross, but he's buff. Like, he looks more like Triple H from wrestling than
I'm just
actual
gonna post
Jesus.
a picture.
Yeah. Do that absolutely, and I'll link it in the link dump. But yeah, I don't know why he's so buff. Like, his arms are so big, and he's like doing this face, like this scowl. Like, a lot of the time when you see Jesus, like, I'm not super religious or anything, but a lot of the time when I think of Jesus on the cross, I'm thinking, this man that's sort of like, his hands are sort of dropped, he's kind of like, he's skinny because he's, on a cross, and he's just sort of, wasting away.
I love this headline I found, by the way.
Oh yeah, Korean statue depicts a Jesus so jacked it looks like his last supper was pure protein.
Anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah,
yes, that's
Angemon.
Korean buff Jesus.
Angemon should be a thing.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know why they did it like that, but I'm not mad. Like, my bucket list consists of going to Korea and seeing Korean buff Jesus, and that's all I want in life.
16-pack.
Yeah, like, it's just, but what? How? Why?
His abs have abs.
Why? It looks very Digimon, because I don't think anyone can look like that.
Okay, that's amazing.
Okay, I'm broken. I just wanted to talk about the Merlion, but now we're talking about Korean buff Jesus, and I'm not even mad. Anyway, what we were doing, oh yeah, we were talking about Digimon. So back to the main characters, we see some terribly animated purple orbs going towards a crystal, and a lot of people are saying it's Moon Millenniumon, and I'm just kind of like, I can be here for that, but can we, like, are we going to go Rio, or are we just
please
pulling...
go Rio. And have Rio explain the multiverse and how he's met several versions of Tai.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what if it's Rio, but it's, like, it's still Rio? Like,
yeah,
it's just
like,
Rio. It's just, like, he comes in from the Taming universe, and he's just like, oh
hey, Tai.
Man, I just got broken up with for, a girl with a puppet. Like, he just sort of, like, we've got adult Rio, and he's seen so much, and... He's just like, oh, look, it's Tai. And he's like, have we met? And he's like, a few times, yes. I've met you with a cape and a blue dragon. I've met you when you look different. You're wearing different clothes.
Also,
and,
I 100% am down for Rio, but he got broken up with by Ruki, who left him for Juri. Please, please make this canon. Oh my god.
Yeah, like... That'd be great. Like, absolutely, 100%. Like, they can totally date. I don't care about that. But it's a young romance. Like, they were just teenagers, and then like I don't know.
He's an adult, and Mookie and Juri are getting married.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, I can't believe this. I'm gonna be that guy at the wedding who just like, yeah, I have a few objections, and everyone's like, come on, sir, please, no one actually does that in real life. Please just sit down and continue drinking.
Look, you need to go to another universe and chill out.
Yeah, again.
Get some
And then
literal
he's
distance.
banished. They just got, like, Planeswalker, please leave. And he just banishes himself to another adventure universe. And he's just like, where's Ken? Where's Ken? And I'm like, same. Anyway, that will probably not happen because...
No. Although Rio going back to date Ken would be pretty great.
Oh, man, I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, but that's great.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I would love that. I doubt it, but, you know, Atmon was fairly gay, so...
It's true.
We could continue
Could be gayer.
with that. Could have been gayer. And so terribly animated purple orbs and Moon Millenniumon maybe, which I didn't really see it, but I guess later on the episode when it's got like a bit of a shine, it looks a little bit like it, but I don't know, I thought Moon Millenniumon was like blue with like a red like shine to it, but again, I might be wrong. But anyway, so Taichi's like, hey Metal Greymon, suddenly we've remembered that miasma exists, and we really don't want any of the other characters to have miasma-induced upgrades. So can you just blow away the miasma mist? And then the badly drawn hand shows up again, and he waves them away like, shoo, we want the characters to have upgrades.
Although I still kind of think that the badly drawn mist is the cause of upgrades.
Yeah, the miasma. Yeah, I just like, can we please bring the other characters to somewhere with miasma and just like...
Yeah, go for a swim.
Dunk them in toxic waste, like with the superheroes. Just like make them upgrade.
Shit works according to everything I've ever read in comics.
Yeah, just like it was like in that movie, I think was it Sky High? I don't know. I really like the movie Sky High, Fight Me. There's a point where the bus driver doesn't have any superpowers, and then it's said in like, because of like a throwaway line at the start where they say, hey, you could always just dump yourself in toxic waste. At the end of the movie, there's like a where are they now epilogue, and they were like, oh, he finally became a superhero by being dunked in toxic waste.
Perfect.
Like, it's not a spoiler because it's like, it's very much just like two throwaway lines, but I love that movie so much. I want to watch it again.
But I got an ad in my email for Lululemon, and can someone please draw Lululemon?
Oh, I'm fairly certain someone has, like, on Tumblr back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, there was a joke like, oh, which version of Leomon is Lululemon? Like, it's just Leomon, but he's on the way to the gym, and he's wearing, like, those really tight pants.
Yes, he's wearing leggings.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Like, it's stupid sexy Leomon.
Yeah, but, God, I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the characters that I care about. Calmaromon has appeared out of nowhere with new camouflage abilities. Don't remember these in Frontier, but I wish that it felt more like her appearing and not her just like being, again, a pop-up book. So nobody again has thought to evolve to perfect, and now they're being melted in squid ink and... I don't know, or something. I was sitting here the whole time hoping that it was miasma so we could get upgrades. And I'm constantly disappointed by the fact that we haven't had the other characters' upgrades, and I'm just worried that we're just like, it's just Taichi and Yamato to do that now.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I was really hoping that somehow Koshiro would, teleport everyone into the fight, and maybe we get one more upgrade, but no, we're just not doing anything.
No, that would be good. So, yeah, then the tankers are wrecking an innocent fishing boat, which just sort of explodes by being... It doesn't even look like the tanker hit it. It looks like the tanker, like, brushed it slightly, and it explodes, which is just like... Who's that director who really likes Michael Bay? Did Michael Bay write this episode of Digimon?
God, a little bit.
Because it's just like, it's going to brush slightly and then explode.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
like, it shouldn't
right.
explode. It should be a massive oil spill that causes, incredible environmental damage.
Yeah.
This is where Devimon's effects went.
Yeah, basically. Like, this explosion is better animated than anything else, and it's a second, and it doesn't even make sense. I have a lot of nitpicks, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Back
in the digital world, where Garurumon's size is really, really, really inconsistent. He goes from, like, the same size as Metal Greymon to tiny. I don't know why. And then Takeru's like, hey, you know that thing that I've already done twice before in, like, the previous few episodes? I'm gonna go do it again. I'm gonna scream stop at the bad guy and just hope that he stops. And then he does it. But this time, instead of being more polite with the yamete, he says yamero. So he's like, he's learning. He's just like, why do I have to be polite to this?
Actually,
I'm gonna speak... Yeah, I'm going to speak in the male language to show that I actually mean it this time. It's just, it's so weird. It's just like, oh, he still says stuff, but he says it a little different this time. This time he means it. And then Tucker's like,
it's
hey,
just to prove
don't
they
bully
didn't use the same recording both times.
Yeah, just like, hey, look, it's not a stock audio. Then Tucker is like, hey, don't bully my friends. And then Poyomon evolves to Tokamon. And Devimon is so, like, weirdly annoyed by the fact that Poyomon evolved. Like, I don't understand. He's just like, he's more threatened by the evolution of a baby Digimon than anything else that has happened this entire episode. And he's like, hey, you should be dark, and you shouldn't resist darkness. And I'm kind of mad that I guess it's just saying that we're not going down that really nice plot path of dark Angemon.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Still can for Tailmon, which I'm still really hoping that Tailmon's just like, oh, I'm meant to be a good guy? Nah.
I sure wish we had gotten any interesting stuff about Devimon being like, you will feel my pain, because the only way I can interpret that is he and Angemon used to date and is just super salty about it.
It's just
It's
okay,
the only
Devimon
thing
just,
that makes sense.
Yeah, Devimon doesn't really want to destroy the world or anything. He's just going through a bad breakup, and honestly just needs a bit of space. Just needs, some, time to live, laugh, love, or whatever the thing is.
He needs a one-night stand.
Or just like to just drink red wine and eat ice cream and watch rom-coms.
God, that'd be so good. Can we do that tonight?
Yeah, can we just like, hey, Devimon, do you want to just watch Love Actually and drink wine? If I commission Chisai to draw that,
Oh my
do you
god.
think she'd draw that?
I feel that
Probably.
you probably wouldn't even have to pay for it. But yes, you should. You should pay for your artists.
Chisai, please. I have an idea.
Just tell us what it costs.
Yeah, just tell us what it costs. And we just... And, like...
Invite Paimon.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I think he should be there with, like, other bad guys, like, especially Edamon, and they're, like, just... And he's just, like, weeping, and they're having, like, a get-together with, like, ice cream to make the friend feel better going through a breakup. And can a Pokemon be there in the corner saying, but what about my pain?
No,
And he's eating the pizza
we're out
crusts.
of pizza.
No, that they got pizza. They got pizza delivered, and a Pokemon's in the corner eating pizza crusts. I'm sorry, this is the
This
funniest
is the
thing.
best idea. Oh my god, this is
It's
so
so-
much better than this episode.
It's so funny, I just hit the keyboard and almost made my computer shut down. So that would have been bad. Anyway, so back to the episode. What is even happening? Oh yeah, this all-powerful Digimon is really angry about a baby Digimon evolving, and then he just screams, and he just causes the energy that is being sent to the digital world to increase. And I'm like, wow, this is such a bad breakup. Like, wow. I'm really sorry you're going through this, Devimon. And then Devimon evolves to Neo Devimon, which is super cool looking, and one of those Digimon that has been in the franchise for about as long as everything else. Like, it's from V-Tamer, but we've barely ever seen Neo Devimon, and he's really got a nice design. Like, Devimon's kind of a little bit too attractive to be scary. Like, if he appears in your bedroom at night and he's like, I'm here to kill you, you'd just be like, yep, sure, go ahead. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
If Neo Devimon, like, this Hellbeast showed up, you'd be like, nah, I'm good. See ya.
Yeah. Neo Devimon, who is apparently just a big fan of Sele, rather.
I got that
we doing
impression
some
too.
Ava.
We're doing
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
this.
Ava.
Let me show you the mask from
Well, it's
Ava.
Lilith's face, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly Adam's face. I don't remember how that all worked out.
No, it's Lilith, the one that was like being Korean buff Jesus downstairs.
Yeah. There's some weirdness
legs.
about which one is which, because if I remember my Ava lore correctly, they said it was Lilith, but they said it was Adam, but it was actually Lilith. There we go.
Yeah, that happened because Quaru's like, oh, this isn't Adam. Oh, it's Lilith. And then it's just sort of,
Anyway,
okay,
Ava
thanks,
spoilers.
Quaru. And
None of
then
this
I
makes
must too
any
die.
sense to
That's
me.
okay. You haven't seen Ava, and that's okay. Actually, no, that's
It's
not
okay.
okay. We should fix that. But
I don't
it's okay
think I've
for now.
heard
also-
of Ava. What is Ava?
Evangelion?
What?
Oh, I've seen it. It's
Neon
just
Genesis Evangelion.
totally. It went. I watched it and then it
That's
left
fair.
my brain.
That is fair.
That's fair. That's
I
probably
made
what
Brady
should
watch it.
happen with Ava.
And I had to play the role as Wikipedia page the whole time because guess what?
Same. I showed Ava to my friend
Evangelion
Chloe.
doesn't explain. You have to like kind of really think about it, and there's a
That's
lot
fair.
of things that like people have just asked the creator, and the creator's just gone, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, that
Which
and
includes, yeah.
that and just like there's a whole bunch of stuff that is nominally canon that you had to play weird video games and shit to find out.
Yeah, like, I guess spoiler for Evangelion, but like, I guess if you haven't seen it already, it's been out for like 2 decades? Over 2 decades, I think?
Well over.
I don't know,
It was like 96,
it's very
97.
old. Yeah, it's a very, very, it's older than Digimon. So like, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, spoiler. Rei is actually the mum, so is Evangelion Unit 1, but they don't really say it that much.
Well,
Like, I thought there was a moment
all
where
right,
we're like, oh yeah, Rei
let me
is
explain
Yuri.
as the
Yui,
Ava
not Yuri.
historian here. So, Unit 1 is what happens when Shinji's mom willingly puts her soul into a giant robot for reasons that are never fully explained. Then,
I think
Dad goes
the-
crazy, uses her
They were
DNA.
vague about it.
Yeah. Dad uses Mom's DNA and uses the soul of Lilith to create a bunch of clones because he wants his wife back and, needs to romance a 13-year-old like you do.
Hey, no, she's 14, come on.
Okay, it's totally different. Age of consent laws.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And then there's actually also then at least 3 different Reis plus a bunch of spare body parts.
And one of them is really hyperactive. Reasons unknown.
Yep. And one of them just really likes insulting Gendo's girlfriend at the
mum.
time.
Yeah. It's like, old hag! Like, wow, Jesus, kid, just calm down. But yeah, so that was the Evangelion portion of the podcast, which I feel like happens every so
we
often.
Could do an Ava podcast sometime, but
We should,
no.
but
that would
there's
be a
just so
really
much.
good special.
Yeah, but there's so much.
There is so much. That said, we could
Like-
stop at just the 26 episodes that are good.
Does that include... I can never tell, like... My opinion changes on whether I prefer the ending, as in the ending of the anime, or the end of Evangelion, or
Fight Me,
the ending
the
I
end
haven't
of
seen yet.
TV is way better.
I like Hyper Ray, and I like how it sort of has a vague happy ending.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Everybody going congratulations is a lot better than everybody murdering everyone else.
But also, kind of here for the fact that everyone sort of dies seeing what they love. And one character sees Masato, the other character sees her girl crush, and is so gay she becomes fluid, which same.
Yeah,
but,
big same.
And then
When you see
the
your
other
crush and melt
character,
into a puddle of goo.
everyone
what a
else
mood.
sees their crush, but this one guy just sees naked rays.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a crush on anybody. Maybe he's ace.
Or maybe he did. Maybe it was creepy and he just really liked naked Ray.
Maybe he just represents the fans.
Yeah, which is wow. But anyway, so that's at the Evangelion portion of the podcast. I'm going to leave that in just because
It's damn right.
we talk about Evangelion so much because at some point it's new enough and also old enough that I feel like
The last
a lot of
movie
things
is finally coming.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope it's good.
I
haven't
have not
actually seen any
watched
of
the
the rebuilds.
rebuild movies except the first one because I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait until these are all out, and then that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, same. I was 14 going, yeah, Rebuild of Evangelion. Also, there's a live action one coming apparently.
I'm
Because
not
there
gonna
was.
watch that because that sounds awful.
Well, yeah, but nothing happened with it because there was an interview with the people who were going to work on it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's the thing about Evangelion," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm good, thanks."
Yep.
But
oh god, and you know that we
yeah.
have to get Scarlett O'Hara to play probably Unit 1.
but yeah, so Evangelion part of the podcast over because we haven't finished the episode of Digimon yet. Devimon evolves to Neo Devimon. It's cool looking, and I'm really glad that we went down this sort of, it's vaguely different from the original, but it feels kind of weird that to pull out like a perfect level when we've already beaten Ultimates and we've pulled out Omegamon twice, and I'm kind of like, I really am hoping that they don't just pull Omegamon twice again, and I'm so glad they didn't, because
So far.
when they were all... Yeah, when they're all holding it, I don't think we're going to get Omegamon again. At least we're not going to get that Omegamon again.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm ready to
not
eat my
until the
words,
end,
I'm pretty sure.
But
Yeah. I hope it becomes I know I joke that we get a new Evangelion. See, I'm broken now. A new Omegamon every year. But I feel like... Or maybe we'll pull out, like, Alter S or something. Like, we'll get 2 extra evolutions. I don't know.
Also, I
Anything
clearly
could
meant
happen.
Scarlett Johansson, not Scarlett O'Hara. I knew what I meant.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I like
It's
that.
fine.
It's fine. It's fine. That makes more sense. But yeah, I get it because she can be anything. A robot, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah. She can play a trans woman. It's fine, apparently.
No, I thought it was a trans man that she was playing.
I don't remember anymore. Either way, it sucks.
I think she stopped because everyone told her not to.
Yeah, she was allowed to be racist, but apparently transphobia was slightly too far.
Yeah, that's where they draw the line. Anyway, Joe almost has a moment. Big Kakumon also gets captured by the tentacles, and then we get quickly back to the digital world where Taichi says the evolution feels different. I don't know how. It feels exactly the same. And then we get the wind that we were talking about earlier that does nothing, and it just kind of blows Tokumon away. And Neo Devimon appears behind Metal Greymon, attacks him, and then does the same to Weigurumon, but just pushes him over. It just looks weird. It's just like, he just pushes him. Like, not with an attack. He just like, I can do that. Like, he just pushes. It feels weird. And then Koshiro is able to contact Taichi, and then Taichi says that they can do this, and then I was really worried that we're going to get Omegamon. And everyone's Digivices glow, and it just reminds me of that scene in 02 where they were like, hey, let's all just hold our Digivices and talk, and then we'll beat the baddie.
Yeah.
And even the other characters are involved, which is nice. And they're like, oh, we can evolve to perfect. I never thought of that this entire battle.
I could have had a V8.
I was so, I was kind of like, oh, they're just going to combine their upgrades, aren't they? Oh, that's a shame. I kind of wanted everyone to have their own, episode, which, was triggered and they had emotions. And
Prepare to be surprised.
Yeah, so not only was I disappointed that they were getting combined evolutions, they weren't getting their combined upgrade evolutions. We were just going to get, and it took me a while to realize that's not what we're doing. We're like, okay, Lilymon looks kind of the same, but so does Lilymon X. Okay, Bergermon looks kind of like has more feathers and muscle. And then for a moment I thought I saw it, but no, we're not getting Garudamon X. We're not getting anything. We're just getting random, well, not random, but the same evolutions we'd expect, and we're not getting upgrades. And I don't know. And I like to think that this was just caused by the other Chosen remembering that they had other friends that were involved, and that triggered their evolution. I don't know. So it's a fairly cool scene, and it's better animated than the rest of the episode, but I just don't know why it took them so long to remember that they could actually evolve to perfect. Calmarimon is easily defeated, and it feels weird, there wasn't anything that was stopping them from evolving before, and I know that because they didn't say that, and Zudamon's like, oh, that's right, I exist, and he destroys the obelisk, and Neo Devimon is fuzzing out, and Yamato says, Weigurumon, and then Weigurumon mode changes on command.
Mm.
Which, there wasn't any speech, there wasn't any special activation, it was just Weigurumon. And it just feels kind of weird. Now I'm like, okay, why didn't you do that earlier?
Yep.
If it's not a one-off special thing that you have to, react to, why are you doing it now? Why didn't Metal Greymon also do it?
I'll be honest,
why didn't Metal Greymon do it last
watching
episode?
So fast, I just missed that it happened at all.
Oh yeah, it happened, and then he attacks him. And meanwhile, the tankers are just able to stop in time, and I'm just hoping Neo Devimon survived because it feels weird if he's destroyed so easily.
Oh, he totally did.
And
he's coming
he totally
back.
did. Yeah, he comes back, but it seems kind of weird that we get Neo Devimon and he dies in the same episode he's introduced. Very quickly.
We apparently have a spare.
Yeah. The tanker does a sweet drift. Koshiro confirms systems recovery. Yamato says well done to Karu for doing nothing. And apparently the characters forgot that Dark Knightmon exists, and he takes the crystal, and it's cool, but how did they forget that happened? He existed, and Neo Devimon emerged from the hole, or something. Taichi remembers Nidhoggmon, and I don't know why, he keeps on oh, what if this is evolution? You just pulled evolution out yourself.
We've also even predicted this several times.
Yeah, you literally just saw Devimon evolve. Why are you oh, what if he evolves again? And, I mean, I'm super excited that he's not just completely dead because
yeah, but hey, remember that last
character.
time when the thing evolved twice? Huh. Weird how that can happen to two different people.
Yeah, and I'm really please don't pull out Omegamon next episode, please. Please don't make me immediately wrong and just pull out Omegamon to beat this Digimon. Please just let all the other kids come and enjoy the fight and honestly, exist and be characters.
So, going into the preview for a minute, Red-Eyed Taichi, I'm please, please, please let there be Dark Evolution, and then, win the fight with that, and then have to, think about whether or not it's okay to keep using that.
Yeah, but that sounds good.
Dark Taichi would be amazing. Taichi was just nah, this shit, I'ma kill them.
what if Taichi just was
God, Taichi
actually just
is
evil the whole
villain.
time? Yeah, Taichi's like he Digimon Emperors himself.
Oh, Taichi, but he's Anakin, but maybe slightly less shitty.
Yeah, that works. So the episode finishes, we get the Digimon Encyclopedia, and that tells us about Lilymon, who did not get a special upgrade at all, and Koshiro just points out that Lilymon looks different from her previous evolutions, which is unlike other Digimon, which, that is by far the worst Digimon Encyclopedia we've had, like, this entire season. Like, usually they're really good. That one was not. I don't know, it felt kind of like... She doesn't look like Togemon. Like, yeah, that's the
Wow.
point. She blooms from Togemon's flower. Like,
I mean,
That's
you
it.
gotta say
Like,
something.
it's
I guess
cool.
it's fine. That being said, the other options are, like, weird and objectifying, so I'm glad they went with what they did.
or just like say Lilymon is really strong and, she's small, but that doesn't mean she doesn't pack a punch. Or just say she should have evolved, she should have had an upgrade, she should have done something, she's so cool. I don't know, anything.
Oh
I
god,
don't care.
yeah, just Koshiro just being like, God, I can't wait until she gets an upgrade.
Yeah. Like, that'd be nice. At least he didn't start saying, I wonder if Mimi wears a cushion when she rides her or something. Like, at least we didn't go that route again, which was weird. Koshiro's weird fascination with cushions.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
But yeah, so that's the episode.
We did
Highlights.
forget the most important part.
Sorry.
Well, and this can be a
Yep.
highlight. Is Mimi just giving like the cutest gals being pals hug when they finally win against Kalmarimon?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is a highlight. That is definitely. So we are into highlights then.
Sure.
Yes. So yeah, that was a highlight because that's also one of my highlights. But also the fact that the evolution part was cool when they all evolved, even though it made no sense that they didn't evolve sooner. I'm still kind of mad about that.
Same.
Do we have any other highlights? Because I just don't have any.
Togemon is cute.
Togemon is cute.
Togemon is
Togemon
cute.
existing is cute.
Gay Devimon is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the evolution to Neo Devimon was cool, and I do like Neo Devimon. I was surprised he died.
Wish that I cared at all about what's going on, and also I wish that. Oh, I guess these are lowlights. So
Yeah.
it's so hard to find
accidentally
good ones. Let me see. Yeah, the little bit of gay we got this episode was pretty good. Also, Joe was pretty great.
Yeah. Joe was definitely a highlight in this episode. Just like, I guess spoilers for my favourite character, but Joe was great.
Same.
Like, well done, Joe, for doing more than any of the other characters and having more of a character than any of the other characters. Because does Taichi and Yamato, do they have characters anymore?
Not really. I will say one, like, vaguely tactically interesting thing was I sort of appreciated them using the Digivices as walkie-talkies.
Yeah, I'm glad that we still do that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we didn't forget that.
They tried to,
Like-
but it barely works.
I'm glad that it's relevant, sort of. Do we have... I guess, is it lowlight time?
I'm trying to think. There should be at least one other good thing about this episode. And the
I
fact
can't
that I
think of
can't
anything
think of
that's
it
not
is... Yeah. I got nothing.
We got like evolution, like even though they're not like the same animation that Metal Greymon and Waygurumon have had, at least we got like nice evolutions for
Yeah,
the
and they
other
finally
characters.
remembered
It
they
wasn't
can
just
do that.
yeah, they weren't just evolution orbs that we've had so far. They were, even though there was stock animation that was reused from previous episodes, except maybe Garudamon's looked a little bit longer. But anyway, I liked that, but it's not really a highlight if it's something that we've already seen.
Oh, Neo Devimon
Yes.
being consistently, like, staticky and fuzzy was kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like that they make death seem a little bit...
Oh, I just
Like,
meant
they're not
even
just
while
gonna
he's
vanish.
just fighting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I can't really think of any other highlights.
Yeah, there were a few
Oh.
visual effects that were kind of good, but that's...
Oh yeah, Neo Devimon's like the way he fights, like he uses cape and or slash wings to block the attacks. Like that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fine. I wish that I cared more about Neo Devimon, and that it wasn't just a stepping stone to the next thing that apparently actually matters, maybe?
Done Devimon, like how I am with this show.
I
Yeah.
already
done.
made that joke
Done.
in the chat, mate.
Oh yeah, well I agree with the joke then.
Devimon
But,
is done with this.
Yeah, same.
He's
do
only
we
been
have
in like
any-
2 episodes in person.
Yeah, really, he only just recently showed up and he's just like, hey, remember me? I'm here.
He's also just
I'm here.
weirdly...
I'm done.
Yeah, he's way stronger than he should be, considering he, one-handed took out a couple of people a level higher than him.
Oh, no, I remembered something that I guess I just missed in the synopsis, but we see Koshiro's on Skype, and that's great and all, but you can see that the name he's logged in as is Charlie Rent. I just found that was funny to note.
That's incredible.
It's like, is that his new dub name, Charlie Rent, or is that just like, is that just the screenshot they had as a reference, and they just included Charlie Rent as the name because that was the person that was logged in?
I want to believe that that's his online pseudonym.
Yeah, or his online synonym, but his name is Charlie Rent. Where did that come from?
I'm like scanning back through and trying to find the point at which Devimon did the upgrade, and I just like can't even find it.
It's very quick. Like Yamato literally says, "Where
Oh, yep. I finally found it.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, we just did that. Apparently, this is not a big deal anymore.
No, it's not a big deal. Which begs the question: why didn't we do this last episode? Like, I think I complained, "Hey, why aren't we getting Metal Greymon to do the upgrade again?" And some people were like, "Oh, that's because it's a one-off special thing. They have to like trigger." No, they don't. We saw this episode. He just remembers his Digimon's name. Like, it's just like, that's not a huge
do the
achievement.
thing, please. Yeah, well, like, the number of times in this last few episodes, especially with the B team, where we're just going, hey, you remember all those powers you have? No, me either. Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, so do we have any other highlights, or can we just jump into lowlights?
Oh, I thought we were already in lowlights.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess we sort of naturally transitioned.
Basically,
lowlights, the animation,
God, yeah.
for a lot of the episode... because we played Devimon up to be such like this huge bad guy, and then he just kind of
sucks.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, his attacks were just like beams of light and badly drawn hand.
I wish I had any faith we were going to get exposition about why he's evil. Like, something pain, something obsessed with Angemon. Alright.
I 100%, I mean, I want it to be actually deeper than this, but I 100% just think he's evil because he's evil.
I mean, yeah.
Like, what's his motivation? He's evil. Like, what was his motivation in the original? He was evil.
Oh, yeah, and, like, I get that, but, like, don't tease me with some, like, history with Angemon if you're not gonna give me anything about it. Why do you care about converting the Holy Digimon, who apparently is the most important thing?
Well, I mean, I said it last episode, which is definitely not going to happen, and I guess, Stevie, you missed out on this one, so I'll just reiterate it. I think it's just Tailmon Dark Evolved to Devimon.
I mean, that would be good. It would be less gay.
And
that doesn't make sense.
But that's why they have history, because they were both the Holy Digimon together, and they were kind of like a team, and one became dark.
I wish if we're gonna do that,
Angemon didn't.
They would tell us that before Devimon no longer matters.
Mm.
Oh yes, I mean, I said this last episode. It's too good to actually happen.
Yeah.
Like that seems like that's another level. I want Tailmon to be evil. But I just can't imagine them actually doing something good. Like, I was really enjoying this season. Like, I had so much hopes for it, and a lot of people didn't like it. And I was just like, oh, people are so hard on, even like back in the first like chunk of episodes, people were really hard on this season. And I was like, oh, why are people so mean about this season? It's not bad. And then like it just sort of like we were even saying, oh, we need to like reevaluate our rating if we're going to start giving like everything a 5.
Yeah.
like.
We should.
You were
we're
like
gonna
that.
have to like push.
I've never been like that.
Well, we thought so when we got like 5 really good episodes in a row.
Yeah, we had like if we go back to the rating, we had like there were some episodes where we're just like 4.5, 4.75, like 5, 4.5s. We had 2 4.5s in a row, which was episode 14, episode 15, and that was something that like the two of you agreed on as a 4.5, and I gave a 5. And then there was episode 12, which I gave a 5, Stevie gave a 4, and Quinn gave a 4.5. So there was like a chunk of episodes which made us like actually enjoy the season. Like Quinn's highest rating was a 4.75, and then that was in a chunk of like 4.5, then a 3, and then 4.5, 4.5, 4.75, 4.5. And then the next rating was 1.5. Like, there was definitely a chunk where
there was a distinct point where we lost all budget, including for writing staff.
Yeah, it was just like, but back then I didn't mind the animation. Like, I was more focused on the actual plot, and people were like criticizing the show, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And now we're just like, oh no. So, yeah, there are a lot of lowlights that, for me, I mentioned a lot of them throughout this episode. But having said that, it wasn't like a boring episode. Like, I didn't hate the episode. I found that there was a lot of things wrong with it that are only bad if you think about them. Like, the show relies on that. The show relies that you don't actually think. Like, why are they randomly able to just pull this upgrade out of nowhere? Why didn't the other kids think about evolving to perfect? Why is Devimon salty about Angemon? I hope we get something to that, and I'm going to say we're not, because I'm very pessimistic, and I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I just can't trust the writers on this one.
Until proven otherwise, they're ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, as I said, he's drinking red wine, watching rom-coms with his best friends, the other bad guys. Edamon's also there, by the way, painting his toenails, which doesn't make sense because he's in a suit.
You know what?
Or he's
I
in,
love
like,
it. Painting the toenails of the suit.
Yeah, like, that's very on brand for Edamon. Let's be real. Or maybe it's Metal Edamon, and he's just, like, giving himself, like, some touch-ups.
Metal Edamon painting himself to look like regular Edamon.
That's great. There's just so many ways you can go with that. But, yeah, like, all of my lowlights are things that I'm sure the target demographic, as in children, would miss.
Yeah.
Like, children wouldn't put that much thought into watching this show, so if you don't think about this show, this episode is good. But if you do think about it, that's when the episode's quality starts to crumble. I can't imagine kids watching out for the animation either. I know as a kid watching the original Adventure, I didn't see a problem with the animation. It was fine. There are a lot of animation glitches. Like, Piyomon at one point has 2 beaks. Koshiro floats a lot. It's just, there's just a lot of animation errors, which obviously I didn't notice as a kid because I wasn't looking for them. Yeah. I was watching it. So this episode is fine, like, but only if you don't think about it. And I think that's what I say a lot about for Frontier. Yeah. Like, Frontier is fine until you start, like, asking questions about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you know, this is fine. Like, there seems to be some lore. But when you think about it, they don't use the lore much. They only use it when it's relevant. And it's the same for a lot of Digimon in general. Like, 02 has a problem as well. Like, oh, everything's super dark and super great until you actually think about it. And even Tamers falls down to that, like, just don't think about it and it's enjoyable. So all of my lowlights are things that probably, like, I'm not trying to say I'm so smart, because what I'm literally saying is I'm smarter than an 8-year-old, which is not an achievement. Google, I am not talking to you. Please do not talk.
Google, am I smarter than an 8-year-old?
Yes. Like, I don't know why, but Google thought I was talking to it right then, and it probably will again now because I said it. Anyway, apparently I shut it up. But anyway, I'm not saying, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so great, because I pointed out some issues. I'm just saying that an 8-year-old probably would miss them. And I think that anyone who's maybe just watching this, not trying to analyze it for a podcast or for a review, might also just not be thinking about it, because who thinks about things when they watch them if they don't have to?
Yeah, although I feel like even if you're a kid, the weird pacing and, like, oh, hey, new evolution mechanics, we're gonna use those real and consistently, is gonna get on your nerves if the thing you want to do is see cool evolutions.
I liked 02.
Yeah, that's fair.
As a kid. I liked 02 as a kid, and that is equally weird, but we have all these evolutions, are we going to use them? Only if relevant. Like, it's just kind of, and at least a lot of the time it's just like, oh, we can't evolve to this level because
at least they make
plot device.
At least there's a pretty good explanation for why they're not doing things most of the time, and you know, even when it comes down to it, when the explanation is, well, we have this stronger thing now. At least that's, you know, a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of the lowlights are very much for me things that were only obvious because I had to think about the episode for the show, and that's about it. Like, it's fine. Like, if you like this episode, power to you. Yeah, but I have a lot of lowlights, but I've basically mentioned them the entire time. Do we have any other lowlights that haven't been mentioned already?
Still no Patamon.
Still no Patamon. I'm kind of like in two minds about the evolution between the two. Like, I'm glad they're kind of taking it slower, but they're still taking it faster than the original, where, like, he was just an egg for a while, and then he was Tokomon forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I was expecting, like, a beam of light or something out of Tokomon, and not literally just, you exist because I shouted, and then we go back to being irrelevant for a while.
It's like, wow, you evolved and contributed nothing.
Yep.
Yay!
Still don't know why Yamato said well done when, like, he just sort of stood there and was like, I'm a
He
character.
didn't do anything.
Takato was
yeah.
brave. The others
Yeah.
were hiding, and Takato stood up and shouted when he was told to hide.
Takato.
You know who I mean.
Did-
TK.
Yeah, I know.
Takato.
Yeah,
The
TK,
There
same
were a
yeah.
lot of
letters.
TK characters.
yeah.
But
But yeah,
Perhaps
do
we
we
were
have?
the same.
Well, also Tachikawa, Mimi.
Yeah,
Which is literally
who is
where
the
the
best.
TK on his hat comes from, which is wild.
But what
Yeah,
if
I was
Takato
like-
just turned up?
Oh my god,
Well,
please
I
let
want- I still
Rio
want
show
Rio
up
to
and
turn
bring... Yeah, but bring the rest of... bring the rest of them with.
We're here to make things good.
What if we just watched Tamers instead?
I'm trying to, but then you keep telling me
We're
we're not
doing
doing
that.
it this week.
I feel guilt tripped now.
Nah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
kidding.
Any more lowlights?
I do have one final highlight, which is Tokomon rolling along in the wind was actually pretty great.
Oh yeah, that was kind of funny because that's all he did the entire episode. But I'm
Yep.
glad he did it.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Nah, I think I've said my piece.
I hate that the other cast members are just side characters.
Yes.
And they literally
at
only
at
get
least
called just to be like, oh wait, this is actually kind of important.
Mm,
We're not
at
writing
least-
them off to the side. See, they
Yeah,
called the
it's-
main two.
Like, it's... I'm glad that it's better than Frontier. Like, they're not literally just sitting there. They actually appear to be doing something. Like, they were able to stop the tanker, which was just a side thing that was happening.
It's weird to me
but-
that none of them
yeah.
seem to care about getting back to, help and save the universe and things.
I can say that they've been, like, sidetracked with the other thing going on, but I do understand.
Do they know Matt's little brother is around?
I don't think so.
Probably
No one's
not.
mentioned it, but also I don't expect them to mention it. Remember when Hikari was just left with them, and then that was the last we ever saw of Hikari?
Yeah.
Hikari's
do
just
we
under
have-
the bench in all those scenes.
Yeah, she's still there. The mum is really
hi.
forgetful.
We've heard nothing about you.
Yeah. So are you ready to move on to favourite character?
Yeah, alright.
Alright, so I'm only accepting 2 possible answers for favourite character this week, by the
no.
way. So I've chosen one of those characters, which is Joe.
A good choice.
Stevie, who is your choice?
Come back to me. I'm eating pizza.
Okay.
Mimi for big gay hugs.
Oh, that wasn't one of my 2 accepted choices, but I will allow it.
I'm curious who your accepted choice is after
Well,
Stevie goes.
I'll see if Stevie
Yeah.
Stevie picks the other character.
I'm going with Gomamon.
Nope, that is
Slash
not one of the other
Ikakumon
choices.
slash Pseudomon.
Yeah. No, the other choice was Tokomon.
Well, I'm not going to pick Tokomon because Tokomon's just like a placeholder till Patamon turns up.
It's true.
Well,
It's just
yeah,
inferior
but
Patamon, literally.
it is. But
Like-
he didn't open his mouth. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not,
we didn't
Yeah.
see
I
any of
would've
the
chosen-
horrifying teeth.
Yeah,
I like that he just smiled
Right.
at Devimon's demise, but that's about it. Really.
yeah, like
Well,
He-
sometimes you
he's-
see your ex die.
him, just like cool. Like he's going through the breakup just fine.
Yeah, well, sometimes your ex was abusive and, a vampire. Literally. And figuratively.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
never washed the goddamn dishes.
The worst crime. Okay, episode rating. I'm gonna give this a 3 just because I feel like I want to give it a 2.5, but a lot of my 3s were worse than this episode. Like, I felt like were a little bit worse this episode, and some were better, so I'm kind of like, I'm giving it a 3 because, like, it was an okay episode, except if you think about it, and it gets just gradually worse. Like, I don't know. Maybe it'll change a 2 to a 2.5 throughout, like, throughout the rest of everyone's ratings. So, Stevie, what are we giving this?
I'm giving it a 2.5 because it was fine. It's just like 2 fight scenes loosely connected so the writers could pretend that they care about the other characters that aren't tied on
Well, a
that.
2.5, it's a pass. Like, that is a passing grade. It's not good. Like, I'm not gonna, pin that on the fridge or anything, but it's a pass. Quinn, what are we rating?
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with 2.5. It is barely passable, but it is not the worst episode we've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst episode we've seen. I think I'm going to keep it as a I'm going to keep it as a 3. So yeah, I'll just keep it as a 3 just because I already wrote it down. So that gives it an overall score of 8. And we don't actually have any other 8s, so that's really exciting for when I do the overall ranking, because it means that we don't have to, like, put it up against another episode. It can just sort of slot in somewhere, which is apparently between episode, just below episode 3, because that was an 8.5. Alright, so ranking. I put this just a little bit down towards the bottom, I put this in 18th place, so between episode 8, The Children's Siege, but above episode 19, How Juoken, which it took me a while to think, was that episode better or worse? So I'm not really sure, but it's there. Stevie, where are we putting episode 23?
I cannot count from the sheet, it's too far down. I'm putting it between episode 3 and episode 20.
Okie dokie, I will do that now, and I will it is also in 18th place for you too.
Woo!
So we basically, even though we gave them slightly different results, it still got the same place. And Quinn, where are we putting this episode?
I think I am going with... Let me check my numbers here and see what past me thought. I think I'm going with between 4 and 19.
Between episode 4 and 19.
So about 4th from the bottom.
I have it.
From the bottom.
Yep, so that is in 19th place. So we basically put the episode in more or less the same-ish position. And then in terms of our overall ranking, it's just below 3. So I will put those out of the way. And overall, it is in 19th place on our overall. So yeah, it's probably one of the worst of the episodes that we've had, but it's not the worst episode. Episode 10 and episode 18 are still the worst episodes. I hope we don't bypass. I hope we don't get past that. I hope those are the worst episodes. If we can keep like the bottom chunk of episodes, this season will be an okay season. Currently, we're better than Frontier. I think we're better than Cross Wars overall, and I think we're better than 02. But if we continue to get bad episodes, we're going to be worse than 02 in my personal ranking.
Oof.
We're better than Last Evolution and Try, though. For me, at least.
Yeah, so far I'm still at better than Try. And I have
Yeah.
not seen Last Evolution yet, so...
Yeah, so that's it for the ranking. Over to questions, which again, I did not paste into my segment guide, so but I did open up the YouTube video comments.
I have a
which
question.
Is basically... Yep.
How are you both doing today?
It is 8:30. All my emotions are putting towards the podcast. I'm very tired. And how about yourself?
I'm doing okay.
Yay!
Glad to hear it.
And Quinn?
You know,
Quinn,
I'm
how
alright.
are you doing?
It's the last part of the semester, so, like, I have to write my students a final and their final project, so, like, the next couple of weeks are gonna suck, but then I get 6 weeks off and it's gonna be amazing.
Hey! So, on to the YouTube comments.
Yes.
We've got Adam Jericho, who says that Angemon X, does exist, and looks over-designed and ridiculous. But what if Holy Angemon's upgrade is taken from Priest mode seen in V-Tamer? Yeah, I just don't think we're going to get the upgrades, and I'm really bummed about that.
Yeah, it blows. I feel like maybe Angemon from being dunked in miasma, but that's gonna be it. That said, we may also, depending on how things go next week, get a, hey, miasma is bad for you, but also makes you super powerful for a while.
And maybe evil.
God, evil Tai, red glowing eyes Tai is gonna be pretty cool. And I hope that they're not just teasing me.
Can I reiterate a complaint I had from episode 10 when we were like, I think it was episode 10, but we were all like, hey, we don't want to go over the miasma, because that looks bad. That would have been so good if they just swam through the miasma, because they would have had special evolutions.
Yeah, they would have gained superpowers.
Yeah, so why didn't we do that? Next we have Ray of Truth saying, Lilymon's X's change is more noticeable when you realise she's a blatant Super Sailor Moon reference. I thought the Lilymon was already... Yeah, like it's not as showy as the other X versions. Like
if you showed me two
Palmon
pictures and said that these are the same exact Digimon, I would believe you.
Yeah, like that's why for a second I thought we were getting upgrades, because I thought Lilymon's skirt looked a little bit like more, but like I don't know. I feel like when you compare it with Palmon X and Togemon X, who are completely different looking, it's just a little bit too much the same. Next we have Red Ranger Mon, who says that they thoroughly enjoyed the battle with Skull Dark Knightmon. To be honest, 2020 is doing a great job with bad Digimon evolving in the battle against the Digidestined. And yeah, I do like that. I like how evolution isn't unique to the main characters anymore. However, I don't know why the main characters are still surprised when it seems to be happening every episode. I don't know, but at least it's something different. Next they say that I love how Metal Greymon and Wegarumon use special moves in combinations when it's synchronized. We finally see Half Moon kick. He never called it out though. And am I the only one enjoying the Digivolving while attacking scenes? And no, you're not, because I thoroughly enjoy the digivolving while attacking, the sort of evolution happens, and it's not just sort of, we just sort of stand there
like
while
a
it happens.
dynamic.
It's something that,
Yeah.
And that's cool. And, I mean, that's something that I really appreciated from even the first few episodes of Adventure 2020, rather, where Greymon, like, Agumon evolved to Greymon and attacked while he was evolving. That was great. Next up we have Alpha Miragi, who says, speaking of good characters being evil, I hope, but no, it won't happen. Go full fan service and have the final villain be an evil adult Ken from the future using an evil version of Paladin mode. Yeah, that could be cool. I still want Ryo to come as out of all the characters. Next we have Michael J, who says, what would be good, in their opinion, have Black Gatomon be introduced. The forces of evil corrupted her after she regressed from Angel Woman or a Fanimon. Think that'd be sick and really create a better character arc. I'm still team Tailmon actually, like, was reborn into Devimon, just because it may give some reason why Devimon is just, like, kind of salty that Angelmon's not evil. Like, they were a team when they were good, and now he wants to be a team when they're evil and not fight each other. But I don't know. That seems too. Any of that seems too good to happen. Next we have Desinformation, who says it feels like the final upgrade. It feels like the upgrade is Taichi and Yamato specific. Don't think that we'll get those for the other kids, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm starting to believe that. Then they continue to say, since it is Toei as well, they will all go all in on the main too, like in Dragon Ball, where Goku and Vegeta get all the attention, with the new forms every now and then, even when they are dead, lol. And yeah, I don't want that. Like, I didn't like that in the original series, how it was just like, Yamato and Taichi have, like, the big evolution no one else really does.
Yeah, it wasn't good then, and it hasn't been good any other time.
I mean, at least in the Dark Masters arc, we had other characters be useful.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Like they gave Takeru the ability to defeat,
Yeah, I mean, like, there was
more or less
something.
2 Dark Masters on his own. Like, I mean, I know Pinocchio was actually killed by Metal Garurumon, but TK was definitely helping out there, and then he just killed Piedmon on his own. Like, that's nice. I like that. I appreciate that. Next, Melania Iris points out something I've said, when I said, I'm not expecting it because it sounds good, and they just say, mood. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, we could introduce another drinking game to this show, which is just me saying, I'm not expecting it because it's too good, or anyone saying it, because we have better ideas than sometimes the right staff do. And by better ideas, I mean anything that's not terrible. And then lastly, we have Sleek Emu 7, who says, Devimon is giving me a Kurisarimon vibe, and Devimon helps Skull Knightmon evolved. It reminded me of how the Ultimate 4 was given the L code. Hopefully Devimon has a good motivation for being the villain in this season.
Darkness.
And yeah, I would love a motivation, but I just don't think we're going to be ever giving a motivation other than he's evil because he's evil.
Yeah.
Like, when has a bad guy in Digimon ever been... Okay, I guess spoilers for Savers, but Yggdrasil? Like, just saying, humans are terrible.
I mean...
We should destroy them.
I'm just saying, I would have voted Giant Meteor 2020.
Yeah. Like...
I thought about writing it in, not lying.
But, yeah.
I think it would be best if Devimon is Angemon's dad, but Devimon was touched by darkness.
Do we have any parents in, actual,
Cutemon.
Parents? Oh yeah, Cutemon in Cross Wars, but...
That's about it.
I don't think we've had many parents. Like, I know we have Digimon and Barbamon, who are kind of like...
Grandparent-ish, but I don't think they had
grandparent-ish?
I don't think they actually had children.
No.
I don't know. What's a parent?
Yeah, what's a parents? Like, I would like something. I don't think we're ever going to get something, because, as Melanie Iris points out, I'm not expecting it because it sounds good.
Yep.
But, yeah, so that's it for the questions, but we do actually have a review that apparently I missed from back in August this year, but I think it's someone who's further listening to old episodes and going up from there, so they won't hear it for a while, so it won't seem super late. So if anyone asks, this is read right on time, and not from August this year. So it's from Dark Kitsune Girl from the USA on Apple Podcasts on the 14th of August, which, for all anyone knows, could be now. The title is Give This Man a Raise. And they've said, I have been a fan of Digimon for years, and hearing these two, so I'm guessing this is why I think it's a slightly older one, these two play off each other is really a blast. The jaded newcomer versus the nostalgia goggles veteran really is a fun contrast, and they managed to mostly keep it civil, bearing the odd justified outburst of despair over the madness or laziness of the script. So yeah, a bit of a blast from the past there, but like, yeah, I'm sorry that I became like the jaded veteran. Like,
We all kind of did.
yeah, we all kind of grew up, and we didn't take off the nostalgia goggles, but we did lift them to our heads, so that they're still on, but we're not looking through them anymore. So yeah, we actually did get another review from this month, actually, which, as I said, could be August. Woo! But I'll save that for next week, just because it's nice to space those out. As much as I do just want to read them all out. So yeah, we actually got a review, even though it's a slightly older one. But it is nice to know that people still like listening through. Like, I think we have like several hundred episodes now, so
Yeah.
I appreciate like, oh, people still listening, like for like over 5 years. So that's really good. So I hope they're still listening by the time they listen to this episode. Please hit me up if you're still listening, and I want to know what year that you listen to all, like, you were able to get to catch up with. So yeah, so that's it for our discussion. Do we have any final points before we go into the outro?
I don't think so. I will say that instead, it should be that Devimon is Angemon's dad, and Angemon, decided to be a rebellious teenager by being a good guy.
Yeah, again, that sounds too good.
Devimon is Angemon's dad.
Oh, okay. Sorry, maybe I misunderstood. But Angemon is Devimon's dad. Not quite as good in my opinion.
I just
That's
thought you were
not what I
reiterating
said.
it.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be good.
Yeah.
I'm so confused now.
The whole
have-
time I thought it was Angemon as Devimon's dad, and then Devimon became evil.
No, it was the Angemon is the child.
Yep.
And
Now
he's
I'm with
rebelling by being good.
My bad.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and next time we'll be watching episode 24, the final stage, Done Devimon, which, kind of cool. So, do we have any predictions?
Devimon's gonna die.
Evil Tai Chi.
I don't want Devimon to die so soon. I want some, like, at least, I just want some, like, motivation. Why is he evil? Why does he want Angemon to be evil? What is their history?
I
Are
could
we
see
going to
us
get
dragging
any
this
answers?
out into another 2 episodes, but probably not much past that.
Oh, if we get another 2 episodes, I just fear we're going to get Omegamon again.
Yeah, can we at least please get the other kids to show up and do something? Like, please,
Yeah,
anything?
I want Taichi and Yamato to be, like, incapacitated, so the other kids have to be relevant and they get their own chunk of episodes. Like, we've had, 6 episodes now of them just being in the real world, sitting there most of the time just waiting for Joe and Mimi to show up.
Yeah, like, we got like 4 episodes of Mimi in a car.
Yeah, like, can we have Taichi and Yamato just be captured and then they have to go be important characters? Like, I doubt that would happen because it's the Taichi and Yamato show again, and I'm not looking forward to next episode. I was really anxious to this week's episode, actually, because I'm just like, I'm really scared that we're not going to get Lilymon, and we didn't get Lilymon's upgrade because I think we're just skipping it.
I think
would
so
love
too,
to be wrong.
and yeah, please.
Yeah.
It could
But,
even be a
like,
different
that-
mechanic. Just give them something the boys don't get.
Yeah, give them something. Give them ultimate evolutions, like
God, yeah.
Bansho Lilymon
Yeah,
or Plesiomon for instead of Vikemon, and they still can evolve to the other ones, but they get both. And then Taichi and Yamato just still get War Greymon and Metal Groomon, which I doubt. I think that the way that the card game is sort of having Blitz Greymon and Crest Garurumon exist, I think we're just going to have them get extra ultimate evolutions, but I don't want that. I mean, I know that means that we get a new Omegamon, we get Omegamon Alta S, but I don't know, I just want the other characters to be important. Do we have any other predictions?
Please, evil Tai Chi, Dark Evolutions, God, or
It'll be out of
evil-
nowhere
evil-
though. Just because
not if we go with the miasmas doing stuff. Yeah,
Like,
that
evil Taichi or just dead Taichi or captured Taichi
you know what?
or something.
I would actually be down for like Garurumon and Greymon just die. They just get turned back to eggs, and everybody else has to do important stuff for a little while.
Oh, that sounds so good, but that's definitely never going to happen.
No. But I would like that a lot. In the meantime, I do think we might get a Dark Evolution out of this. Probably based
which
on
can
too
be
much
good.
miasma.
Yeah, like, that can be good. Like, miasma's like a, has anybody watched The Boys?
I have not.
Yeah.
I was going to say miasma is
Compound
I
V.
can't believe... Yeah, I just want it to be Compound V. Like, oh, it makes you super powerful, but also you might run through a person. Like, The Boys is so good. I can't believe I haven't mentioned it on the podcast, but just, like...
You did once, but I still don't really know anything about it.
Like, Amazon gives you a month trial of Prime.
Oh, I have Prime. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like... It's pretty,
What if
like...
superheroes are racists and rapists?
Yeah, what if superheroes were
Basically.
actually not good? Like, they were more like celebrities than superheroes, which is the take on it. Like,
Alright, I
celebrities
can
are
maybe see that.
problematic, but they're all like, they've got really big egos because they're celebrities. And, yeah, it's a really different take on it. Frenchie is the best character. I want somebody to call me, their heart in French, please. Like, just be cute to me, please. But anyway, so yeah, so that was my talk about The Boys quota for today. So I'm surprised that I didn't find a reason to make the Destiel reference when I could have. But I can't believe that everything happened at once this week. Like, imagine confessing to your gay crush but then dying. Wow. I don't even watch the show, but wow. But yeah, sorry, I had to put that reference in somewhere.
I literally don't know what this is about, other than people keep saying the words "flaming queer" to me, and I'm not.
You
gonna find
were
out
not. Is that any different from normal? Like, I mean, were you not on Tumblr in the year of our Lord 2013?
No, I was
Nope.
not. But that's
Good.
In any event,
You missed out on Homestuck and Supernatural. Yeah, I will read out the outro unless you would have to leave now, which you may miss the first time I say the outro without flubbing.
Well, I can stick around for that.
Okay, well, I'll do that very, very well. I don't like my chances though because my throat is dying. So, but let's please. Fingers crossed for me not flubbing the outro for the first time ever. So the link dump's in the description, and our Redbubble's also linked in the description, and you get more than just shirts there too. Look at me say the word description twice without flubbing. There I go again. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at... God damn it! You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment us on this...
Wow, you're saying it so fast I can't understand it.
Yeah. If you slow that down, and please don't check. She did it.
Please don't check. Or you can comment on this episode or message us on our website, where you can vote in polls, check release schedule, and check out our blog posts. You can follow us on Translation on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We also have a thread on With the Will, not saying discussion because that word's too hard for me to say apparently, and a red thread in the Digimon subreddit. And we'd appreciate any more reviews. We have some, which is great, and I have one next week, but if you could just leave a review, and that means that we'll have more to say. That'd be cool. And you can donate to our Patreon. We can link the description from as little as $1 a month, which gets you access to a listen Discord server, but there are higher levels of more rewards, such as notes, early episodes, and more. And thank you to our supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wildwing64 and Archive Our Own, Kardawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, yep, didn't say Twombler this time, Kyle, Lismet, Alekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Metal Marmon, Sam, Spiral, Keith from Gone Will Hunting, a Hunt Hard to Rewatch podcast, Silverhead Freak 25, Magnus, Lucas, Blighedman, and Japhus. Let's just pretend I didn't flub at all during that time, please.
I don't know
you
what
can
happened.
also make...
Nothing.
Never happened. You can also make motivation on PayPal, which you found in the description. I'm not even going to correct that one. It's paypal.me/airdramon. Also, I have a coffee account, ko-fi.com/airdra. Okay, I think I actually, instead of not having any flubs, I think I made a record for flubs.
Quite possible.
So,
I think next week, just send me the intro and I'll try it.
Yeah, I can do one.
We'll just take turns doing the intro.
Not the intro, outro. There we go.
Outro, intro.
We could take turns doing the intro too, but anyway, yeah.
Maybe it's just really hard to read, or maybe it's just...
You could probably
after,
break it up into 3 parts and we could each do part.
That's what I did when I had the podcast with Jay, and I still flubbed on the word description and discussion. I don't know why they're hard to say. Like, I get tongue-tied. But yeah, I don't know why I'm so bad at the language, the only language I'm fluent in. So yes, of course. So Quinn, where can we find you?
In a classroom, probably. Unless it's like
In a
3 weeks
classroom.
from now, in which case, I'm at home.
And Stevie,
You can find me on the Moncast.
where you can find all of us.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sometimes, occasionally, we talk about Pokemon and Digimon. Most of the time, no. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, we should definitely talk about an Ava special sometime. But on that note,
Yes.
let's call it a day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do have to call it a day. So, of course, thank you, Quinn and Stevie, for joining me. And, of course, thank you so much for everyone to listen to us gush and complain about Digimon and me flubbing a lot of words. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!
Bye.